Hello everyone. In today's video, I'll talk about how to use the French high-speed rail system, especially for visitors from North America or outside of continental Europe. So let's get to it. This is the SNCF-Connect website, the main website of the National Rail Company of France. There's also an SNCF Connect app that looks similar. First thing you'll notice is that this is in French. So we'll scroll down here to the bottom of the page, change our choice of country over to Europe, and that will switch the website over to English. Once you've done that, we'll start searching through the schedules. So start by entering your destination. You start with the destination. So I'll enter in Bordeaux here, it's the city of Bordeaux, any train station. And once I've done that, I enter in my departure point. So I will enter in Paris, any station in the city of Paris. That brings up the question of when should I book? How far in advance should I book? So tickets typically go on sale anywhere from 2 to 6 months ahead of time. You want to buy them as soon as you can, as soon as your travel plans are solidified. Sometimes the trains sell out, especially during busy travel periods. So we'll start with 2 months from now. We'll take a look at that. Can leave the rest of these options as is and click See Prices. So here we have our trips from Paris to Bordeaux. We'll go a little earlier in the day. One thing to notice is there are two different providers here. There's Ouigo Grand Vitesse and there's TGV and OUI. And we'll talk a little bit more about the differences between them a little bit later. Another thing to notice is that all of these trains to Bordeaux depart from the same Paris station, from Paris Montparnasse. And that's typical of the French train system in the Paris hub. All of the trains to specific location will leave from the same Paris station in general. Let's compare Ouigo and TGV and OUI. First, the similarities. So both providers use similar high-speed train sets, very fast, get you to your destination quickly. They also both offer all reserved seating. You won't be wandering around looking for an open seat. You can guarantee you sit with friends and family. Now let's talk about the differences. So Ouigo is a low-cost, no-frills provider. It's all second class, 4 across. There's no food or beverage service on the train, although you can always bring your own food and drinks, including alcoholic drinks. Let's take a look at this €19 deal to Bordeaux. First, you'll notice there are two different options. There's Ouigo Plus and Ouigo Essentiel. Ouigo Plus is a package that includes some of the common options people select. It includes one piece of larger checked baggage size baggage. It also includes Wi-Fi, lets you select a seat as well. So let's take a look at that seat selection experience. Go here, click select your seat. You can see it's 3 across and 1 on the lower level, 2 and 2 on the upper level of the car. I can click through and see what's available on the train. If I want a seat with an outlet, that's what this icon means. Otherwise, I'm not guaranteed an outlet. Ouigo Essentiel, it's back to that a la carte model. It's the lowest price, but you pay for everything additional, including larger luggage, Wi-Fi, selecting your seat. The solo seats of the 3 and 1 are €7, for example. So that's Ouigo. It's a good deal, especially if budgets are tight and you just want to get there. Now let's look at TGV and OUI. So it's a bit more of a premium experience. There's food service on the train, a La Bar car. You can order via the website or walk back and buy food directly. All the luggage is included, Wi-Fi is included. There's second and first class, 4 across in second, 3 across in first. So if I open this up, first of all, I see that first class is only €4 more in this case, so that might be a good deal. In second class, you don't get to select your seats directly. You can go in and set these preferences and, upper or lower deck, aisle or window. If you click continue, it'll assign you a seat that meets your preferences if one's available. Let's take a look at first class here. And you'll notice there's two different classes here. The main difference with first class is that it's 3 across instead of 4. There isn't food service at your seat or anything like that. If I choose that journey, I can take a look at the seat selection UI. You can see it's 3 across. I can click through the train, see the different cars, and choose my seat. The other thing you'll notice here is that there's a Tarif Flex Premier fare, significantly more expensive. The main difference with this one is access to the TGV Ennui Lounge, also called the Salon Grand Voyageur. It's a nice lounge, it's comfortable, it's quiet, there's a coffee machine, but there aren't any other amenities or refreshments. It's not worth 100 plus euros, it would be in this case. Sometimes these prices are closer, and then it might be a good deal. Another option, if you're flying into De Gaulle, is to just take the train from the airport. There's a TGV station in Terminal 2 of De Gaulle. So let's see what's available there to Bordeaux. So I enter in the De Gaulle station and see what we've got, and there are a bunch of direct trains from the airport to Bordeaux, for example. There are trains to a bunch of different French cities directly from the Charles de Gaulle airport. So one thing to notice is in the case of Bordeaux, it takes a little longer, about an hour and a half. It has to go around the city, but keep in mind you'd have to get into Paris Montparnasse on the local train and then the metro. So this is definitely more convenient, it's simpler, so something to look at if it fits into your itinerary. Let's take a look at some tips for the purchase experience. So let me just go ahead and add this ticket into my cart. So I will get a seat on this train. I will, let's see, click over to cart 2 and get a solo seat. And then I will add that to my cart. We'll take a look at the cart and proceed to the purchase. Now at this point, I could continue and create an account and buy the ticket. But I've had issues using my US credit card on the website. You can give it a try, but what I'd suggest if you run into any issues is to flip over to the SNCF Connect app and use that. Use Apple Pay or use Google Pay within the app. I've had no issues using Apple Pay and buying tickets that way. So that's an option if you have any problems with your credit card on their website. Once your purchase is complete, you'll get an email from SNCF with ticket information, and your ticket will also be available in the SNCF Connect app. Ticket is a QR code. You'll want to make sure you have that QR code handy when you go to board the train. You'll need to scan it at the platform gates, and it might also be checked on the train. Let's talk about getting to the train and actually getting on the train. So first of all, you'll want to be at the train station at least 30 minutes ahead of time. If you are coming into De Gaulle, keep in mind you need to give yourself an hour or two to get through customs, also some amount of time in case your plane is late. If you need to get into downtown Paris to catch a train there, you need to give yourself an hour to an hour and a half at least. You'll need to catch the local train and potentially switch to the metro. If you're catching the train at De Gaulle, there's a tram that goes over to Terminal 2 to the train station there. Very convenient. Once you actually get to the train station, boarding will begin about 20 to 30 minutes ahead of time. Ouigo trains typically board about 30 minutes ahead of time because there are more people getting on the train. TGV Ennui is 20 to 25 minutes. You can use the monitors in the station or the SNCF Connect app to check train status and platform assignments. Once your platform has been called, head up there, have your QR code ready. You'll need to scan that at the gates on the platform to get out there. If you're at a terminal station, the first station, you just walk to your car. If you're waiting for your train, you can see where your car will stop using these Composition des Trains signs on the platform. Through all of your travels, the SNCF Connect app is handy to see train status, platform status. It's also handy to see the composition of your train, what car is going to be where, in association with those Composition des Trains signs on the platform. Enjoy your travels in France. If you found this video useful, please consider liking and subscribing. Thanks for watching.